You did not join me in the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, morally straight. Now the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. One more, the outdoor code. As an American, I will do my best to complete my outdoor manners, to be careful with fire, be considerate in the outdoors, and be conservation-minded. Color Guard, you may post the colors and be dismissed. Good evening. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Tyler Hines. It is my honor to introduce and provide a worthy testimony of our Eagle Scout today. Ewan Christian LeJava joined Pack 135 in September of 2013, and he joined Troop 5 in May of 2018. He is Troop 5's 80th Eagle Scout, and he earned it on September 25th, 2023. In his troop, he has served as quartermaster, patrol leader, troop guide, to senior patrol leader, instructor, and he's also been webmaster. This may sound like a well-rounded resume, but it kind of just sounds like you can't hold a steady job in the troop. Ewan has served 2 NYLT courses, summer of 2022 as our troop guide, and summer of 23 as assistant youth course lead. He also follows the time-honored tradition of Claire Blackwell and I of being removed from NYLT for being too good at leadership. He's also served in the Order of the Arrow Owen Echo Lodge and is currently the Brotherhood member and Training Committee chairman. A quote from E20 Secretary Justin Yeager, "The only reason I am annoyed at Ewan is that he didn't let me put him in leadership earlier." Ewan, in his summer activities during scouting, has been to Philmont in 2021, New Hampshire High Adventure in 2022, and Maine High Adventure in 2023. He's also gone to 4 years to Sequoia. Woo, woo, woo. For his Eagle project, Ewan built a Gaga pit at Cadogan Park in Brookfield. The game of Gaga is a safe, active, and accessible dodgeball-like game played within the pit that Ewan led in the construction of. According to Ewan, his best scouting experience is Philmont 2021, in his words, the whole thing. In regards to education, Ewan spent 2 years at Brookfield High School taking the highest level of courses available with a particular interest in STEM. Ewan now studies at Western Connecticut State University while finishing high school graduation credits and obtaining college credit, supplementing with classes from Harvard Extension School. Don't let him fool you into thinking that he's a very smart man, however. Here's a quote from Ewan. "Why don't baseball players take the bat with them after they hit the ball so they can defend themselves against the baseman?" In regards to sports, Ewan swam for Coach Brian Reef, okay, got that one right, at Brookfield High School for 2 years as a varsity swimmer, and Ewan now plans to study electrical engineering at a university in the Northeast. If we could please call forward Logan White to lead us in his poem, The Bridge Builder.
The Bridge Builder. An old man going along a lone highway came at the evening cold and gray to a chasm vast, deep, and wide, through which was flowing a sullen tide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The sullen stream had no fear for him, but he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. "Old man," said a fellow pilgrim near, "you are wasting strength with building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You'll never again will pass this way. You've crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build this bridge at evening tide?" The builder lifted his old gray head. "Good friend, in a path I have come," he said. "Here featherwith after me today, a young whose feet must pass this way. This chasm has been naught to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross the twilight dim. Good friend, I am building this bridge for him."
May we now call forward Chris Brooks to deliver his poem, The Law of Life.
The tree that has never had to fight for sun and sky and air and light, but stood in the open plain and always got its share of rain, never became a forest king, but lived and died a scrubby thing. The man who never had to toil to gain and farm his patch of soil, who never had to win his share of sun and sky and light and air, never became a manly man, but lived and died as he began. Good timber does not grow with ease. The stronger wind, the stronger trees. The further sky, the greater length. The more the storm, the more the strength. By sun and cold, by rain and snow, in trees and men good timber grows. Where the thickest lies in the forest growth, we find the patriarchs of both, and they hold counsel with the stars, whose broken branches show the scars. Of many winds and much of strife, this is the common law of life.
May all Eagle Scouts now come to the forward of the room.
Which direction are we starting?
From
Most recent.
Mr. White.
It's okay, I got it.
Okay.
So you're going that way. October 20. Wait, August 21. Yeah, I'm definitely.
Oh my God.
I don't even know. Eagles, take a step to your right.
So here at Troop 5 we have a tradition, it's called the passing of the eagle. And so this is actually Ewan's eagle badge. And before we present it to him, we're going to pass it through all of the other eagles that have achieved that rank already. And they're going to say their name, when they earned it, and tell you what, how you know Ewan, and very quickly any recommendation for him or any words of wisdom for him. Very quickly. Name, rank, ceremony.
My name is Ben Green. I got my eagle in November, and I know Ewan through NYU staff. Congrats.
My name is Harry Murphy. I got my eagle in November of 2022. I also know you through MYLT. Great guy.
My name is Frederick Osborne. I got eagle October 2022. I know Ewan through MYLT, and keep following the Scout Open law throughout your life.
I'm Patrick Cipitelli. I got my eagle in 2021, I think. And I know Ewan through NYLT, and you've got this.
I'm Ian Sadusky. I got my eagle in April this year. I know Ewan from being my troop guide.
My name is Christopher Brooks. I got my eagle January 31st of 2022. I think I know Ewan through Cub Scouts, and the rest is history. A piece of advice I have for Ewan is to just think about what being Eagle Scout means to you, and you'll start to see that in other people. Because I've met a lot of really incredible people, and I then later find out that they're Eagle Scouts, and it always just makes sense to me that they are. So just think about that.
Claire Blackwell, September 13th, 2021. I know Ewan through NYLT and I'm also dating him. So, my piece of advice is you never change.
I'm Matt Daly Lehman. I got my eagle August 2nd, 2021. My advice for Ewan would be, as someone that's in college right now, take it slow.
There's no rush to get through college, trust me.
I'm Emma Sadesky. I got mine on June 19th, 2021. And I know Ewan. He was a mentor to my brother, Ian, and he's dating my best friend, Clara. And my advice is, you are one of the kindest souls I've met, so please be kind throughout the rest of your life.
Hi, my name is Tyler Hines. I got my Eagle on May 25th, 2021. I also know Ewan through NYLT, like so many people here. My advice to Ewan is be honest about your mistakes, but remember your successes.
Hi, my name is Max Allen. I got my Eagle on October 12th, 2020. I first met Ewan on a swim team when we were like 7, 8, and 9 years old. Then we didn't see each other for like 9 years. And then he showed up working at the same beach that I was. And we've been friends ever since. So, Ewan, if I can give you any advice, never stop having fun. Always remember to smile.
My name's Logan White. I got my Eagle in June of 2020, and I know Ewan from the starting of his scouting career. And a piece of advice that I'd have for him is that I've always seen a bunch of leadership qualities in him, and just keep those around with you throughout college, throughout life. Those leadership qualities will go where to go.
My name is Ben Bogus, got it December 9th, 2019. Known Ewan since he crossed over. And I would just say the recognition of Eagle goes way beyond this. So as you get into institutions, whether it's a college or anything past that, I know I've heard directly from the Dean of Admissions at Quinnipiac that once he sees someone has an Eagle Scout, automatically sends them through. It's amazing. So keep that as advice as you go forward.
My name's Jeff Janowski. I got mine in July 2013. I know Ewan. I was a leader when he was first coming in. I was graduating high school, I think, when you first joined the troop. 2013, right?
Probably.
Yeah, so I was just graduating high school. He was just coming in, and I was his high adventure coordinator for a while. One piece of advice is keep working hard. This is just one step in a lot of different journeys that you will go through in life, and this is a good springboard to learn from.
And now we're going to jump from the 20-teens to the 1990s. So I got my Eagle June 9th, 1994, Sacramento, California, Troop 40. I know Ewan from when he was my son Ian's troop guide at NYLT last year. So my suggestion or piece of advice for you is that once you're an Eagle, you're always an Eagle. So from this point forward, it's your responsibility to carry that with honor. So always do so.
And I'm Brian White. I'm the Scoutmaster for Troop 5. I got my Eagle back in 1987. With that, my word of advice, so you came up into Troop 5 and you were this little thing, but you acted a lot older than you really were. But that was great, and you showed a lot of leadership skills, and that taken you far in NYLT, and to always live by the Scout Oath and Scout Law. So now that we've passed it through all of the Eagles, Ewan, can you come up?
Yes. Take him off.
Yep.
Don't worry, you're getting much cooler. What's wrong with the Troop 5 one? Absolutely. Mr. Wallen. You got beef with what's your guy? Meredith.
So with that, what I'd like to do is have Ewan take his Eagle Pledge for the first time, and all of the other Eagles to renew your pledge. Scout sign. Repeat after me. On my honor, I will do my best.
On my honor, I will do my best
To do my duty to God.
to do my duty to God.
On my honor, I will do my best.
On my honor, I will do my best
To do my duty to my country.
to do my duty to my country.
I reaffirm my allegiance
I reaffirm my allegiance
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities
the obligations and responsibilities
of the rank of Eagle Scout.
of the rank of Eagle Scout.
2. So congratulations, you. Welcome you guys to have your seats again.
Well, not all of them.
The troop.
Well, hold on. I'd like Clara Blackwell, Ben Bogues, Matthew W. Lehman, and Logan White to stay up here. So, as Eagle Scouts, we would also like to challenge you in his further endeavors beyond just giving him advice, give him something to actually work for too. So we have some readings we'd like to read out. Ewan, the foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. He knows that a Scout is trustworthy. It's the very first point of the Scout law for a good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, not only because honor is important to him, but because of the vital significance that he sets in his example to other Scouts. Living honorably reflects credit on his home, his church, and his troop, and his community. May the white of the Eagle badge remind you to always live with honor.
The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to his family, Scout leaders, friends, school, and nation. His loyalty to his troop and brother Scouts and sister Scouts makes him pitch in and carry his share of the load. All of these help to build the loyalty, which means devotion to community, to country, to one's own ideals, and to God. Let the blue of the Eagle badge always inspire your loyalty.
The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has always been a quality by which men measure themselves and others. To a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but the determination to stand up for the right. Trusting in God with faith in his fellow men, he looks forward to each day seeking his share of the world's work to do. Let the red of the Eagle badge remind you always of courage.
The fourth obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be cheerful. To remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile. The red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the second-class Scout Award, which has its ends turned up in a smile.
The final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout extends a helping hand to those who still toil up to Scouting's trail, just as others help him in the climb to Eagle. The performance of the daily good turn takes on a new meaning when he enters a more adult life of continuing service to others. The Eagle stands as protector of the weak and helpless. He aids and comforts the unfortunate and the oppressed. He upholds the rights of others while defending his own. He will always be prepared to put forth his best.
You deserve much credit for having achieved Scouting's highest award, but wear your award with humility, ever mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. May the Scout Oath and the Scout Law be your guide for tomorrow and onward.
Can I have my script
Are we good?
Yes, you guys are good. We will now continue with letters of congratulations. Do we have any? Okay.
You could look at them in the book downstairs.
Okay. Claire,
Don't worry.
she's gone. Okay. Well, if we're going to do the letters of recommendations, we can just. Okay. If anybody would like to share some stories about Ewan, you may now come up now. This is Ewan's roast. Yep. Cool.
Oh, do I?
Be here.
Hold up. We can't have the culprits go first.
That's the perfect one.
Okay.
You would get up there so we can see your face.
Oh, true. You get to see me go flush red. It'll be great.
Oh, you're immediately going to know what I'm talking about.
I'm excited.
So I kind of prepared a script. So Scouts is all about learning, right? And what better way to learn than by testing a theory yourself? Well, one night at Camp Hoyt, Ewan decided to test. Thank you. Ewan decided to test that particular theory while we were cooking dinner. He wanted to try a new recipe of garlic chicken. You can see where this is going. But we had one small problem. When he mixed the seasoning together with the garlic mix, he forgot how much he put in. So what better way to test how much garlic seasoning you have in seasoning than to smell it? It sounds like a good idea. Before any of us could say anything, Ewan picked up the bowl, poured a little bit of the bowl out on the table of the mix, and put his nose down towards it. A little too close. Before we could say anything to help him, he had inhaled about a quarter of garlic seasoning. You know that one. The coughing fit that followed, won't soon be forgotten. But no better way to learn depth perception than when you have a face full of garlic seasoning. And that just goes to show the type of character Ewan is, and how enthusiastic he can be even when cooking dinner at Camp Hoyt.
Thank you, Matt.
Yes. Okay.
We can build.
You can build. So, just hit the names? Okay. So, in total of recommendation letters, Ewan has received a recommendation from Johanna Hayes, the representative for the 5th District, Connecticut. A recommendation from Zach Growalski, the 2023 National Chief of the OA, and Grant Kim, the National Vice Chief of the OA. He has also received a recommendation letter from the National Park Service in their entirety. He's also received one from Maria Parisi of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. He's received one from NASA? He's received one from NASA. Wow. Didn't know you could get them from NASA. He's also received a recommendation letter from the West Point Academy in New York. Dude, this resume's cool. He's received one from the United States Coast Guard Academy and Deborah J. McDonald, the Colonel of the U.S. Army, for Directors of Admissions for West Point. It still goes on. He's received a recommendation letter from John W. Raymond, the General of the United States Space Force, and Charles Q. Brown, the General of the United States Air Force Chief of Staff. It keeps going. He's received a recommendation letter from Edward W. Thomas Jr., the Major General of the United States Air Force, their recruiting service. He's received a recommendation letter of Alexander Scribe Armatas, the Commander of the U.S. Navy. He's also received a recommendation letter from Mike Rowe.
You should read that one.
Read it? Okay. Dear Ewan LeJava, back in 1977, I got a letter from the President of the United States congratulating me on becoming an Eagle Scout. The letter was printed on thick, creamy paper with my name typed at the top and Gerald Ford's signature at the bottom, right next to the presidential seal. Very impressive. However, as I studied the president's signature and compared it to those in the bottom of identical letters he had sent to other Eagle Scouts and other troops, I came to the conclusion that I was not holding a personal letter from the President of the United States, I was holding a form letter. Don't get me wrong, Ewan, it was a nice gesture and I appreciated the sentiment. But I decided then and there that if I ever found myself to the position of sending out thousands of letters to Eagle Scouts everywhere, I wouldn't try to fool the recipient into thinking they'd received something uniquely personal. After all, Ewan, a Scout is trustworthy, whether the Scout goes on to become President of the United States or the host of a show on cable television. Which is why I want to be absolutely clear with you about the nature of this letter. While I did in fact write every word, I did not write it specifically for you. The truth is, Ewan, it was your parents who wrote your name in the blanks. And it is your parents who are deeply proud of what you've accomplished on this day, as they should be. The Eagle Award is still a big deal, and congratulations are most definitely in order. However, the only message I can offer a young Scout I've never actually met is the same advice I received from my dad moments after I received the same honor. Don't get cocky. Contrary to what many have told you, Ewan, this award will not change the way people look at you. I'm sorry, but it's true. We now live in a world where everyone seems to get some sort of trophy, and the majority of Americans simply have no idea how difficult or special your accomplishment truly is. But that's not a fact worth bemoaning. Because the truth is this: the Eagle Award comes with no magic power or influence. It's simply a recognition of what you've accomplished so far. And while it's true that many Eagle Scouts have gone on to do great things in life, it's also true that many others have not. I know a guy who got his Eagle a couple of years before me. His chest literally puffed up and never returned to its normal size. His dad got him into a decent school, and when he finally graduated, he showed off his diploma like it was his first merit badge. Oof, this is mean. Today, he is a miserable, pompous, pain in the butt with no friends, 2 ex-wives, and a job he hates. He still has a collegiate football trophy on his mantle next to his diploma and an identical copy of that same form letter from Gerald Ford congratulating him for something he did 35 years ago. Do me a favor, Ewan. Don't be that person. Don't wait for the world to acknowledge your accomplishments. When you're finished with scouting, donate your uniform to the Salvation Army. In a few years, it's not going to fit anyway. Fold up your sash and stow it away somewhere private, along with all the other tokens of what you've done so far. Then roll up your sleeves, get out into the world, and put what you've learned to use. Live the Scout law, remember the Scout oath, and remember, a Scout is clean, but not afraid to get dirty. Mike Rowe. P.S. The signature, though photocopied, is really mine. And that concludes Ewan's letters of recommendations.
So there was one more letter that will be in the mail and get to him, but he, this evening, previously met with Steve Harding. So Steve Harding, the Connecticut senator. So he met Ewan this evening. Unfortunately, Steve had to run off to another Eagle ceremony this evening, so he took off to that one, but he did recognize Ewan as well, and we'll get that letter over to you.
So, if there's anyone else that would like to tear Ewan apart up here, good night.
Well, since I'm up here.
Start off.
Well, I'll be sure. So the first AT hike that we go on, you know where this goes.
Oh, I do.
So the first AT hike, the Scout is prepared. Be prepared. That's the motto, right?
Yes, it is the motto.
Okay, were you prepared? No. He had everything he needed except one very important thing. So in the troop, on the AT hikes, every Scout brings their own food. So you dutifully had one granola bar? Or 2?
Ooh, might have been 2 plus the one that I have eaten in the car.
Okay. But he then did not have any other food for the rest of the weekend. Luckily, there was a few others that recognized that you might need a little helping hand and were able to donate some food to him. But after that campout, did you ever forget food on a campout again?
I did not.
So lessons learned, actually the hardest lessons are the safe fails are the best way to learn that lesson, and you quickly learn that one. But I'll never forget the fact that you forgot food on a campout.
Oh no.
So, need a little help from my best friend Emma. Scouting is all about growth and being the best version of yourself, becoming the best version of yourself, So, what better way to demonstrate that than to show you all what Ewan was like when I first met him 2 years ago. So I'm just going to walk around. This is the version of Ewan that was my first impression of Ewan. So I would just like to take a moment to appreciate how far you've come and all of the many accomplishments, including getting the braces off and all that was a good time. So yeah, there you go. So that's, yeah.
So that is me at age 14. I had just gotten back from Philmont and had been dared by Logan and Ben to not shave for the rest of the summer. So the beard and braces combo has become iconic for the summer of 2021, but will never return, as that was probably the worst thing I could have done to my face.
Are you going to say it, Chris? Or? No. So that photo was just after Philmont, right?
Yep.
And I didn't see the whole thing, but he got his nickname, or one of the nicknames that he had from that. And so for the Philmont trip, he was also our chaplain's aide. And so he was then called Brother Ewan.
All right, who's next? You guys were coordinating for hours yesterday.
They have nothing.
We have nothing.
Correction, I had something.
Ewan, there's nothing we can say that would be appropriate in church. I'm sorry.
Scoutmaster for Troop 5. I'm going to follow along with Mr. White's theme about being prepared as a scout. So, before our first AT hike, where Ewan conveniently forgot food, we had a February camping trip, winter camping trip, right? So for those second class and above, we were at Camp Candlewood over on the lake. And what does Ewan forget? A sleeping bag. So this has kind of been a consistent theme, but again, going along with Mr. White, safe fails are good fails to learn from, and Ewan has definitely learned a lot in his time in Scouting.
Hi, I'm Mr. LaCroix. I was with Ewan on his high adventure trip to New Hampshire 2 years ago, and it was quite the trip. It was a short hike, but it was an eventful hike. And the main event of the hike was actually at the end of the hike. Yes. Okay. Now, I have to call out Luke, and Peter, and Robert and Will, because they all know the story, and they are not up here stating it because they're afraid. I don't want to get in trouble. Okay. So getting back to the story, I think one thing that you've always learned with Scouts is you need to respect wildlife, because they're wild, it's part of the outdoor code. Well, this is one time where Ewan did not follow the outdoor code and did not respect wildlife, because it was him and an ant, and the ant won. If you want to get into specifics, Ewan will be glad to share it.
Fight or flight response, flight one, so that's why Do we have anybody else here?
I can talk about Cub Scouts.
If you want to talk about Cub Scouts, go ahead.
Alright.
You
got something too?
What do you have?
So if you see Ewan, he's wearing this shiny belt right now. I think the reason is my second camp out. I was 11 years old. We go up to play capture the flag at nighttime. I look over and see Ewan running around, no pants, no shirt on, just his underwear.
Ultimate Frisbee gets crazy. That's how it goes. Or called to capture the flag, sorry.
He's worn that belt ever since.
I have one.
It's not really a roast. I just want to talk about how dumb me and my friends were when we were in Cub Scouts. So
I would carry this huge iPad around everywhere I went, and so one day I was an annoying little kid that wanted a YouTube channel. So one day I was at Lime Rock with Ewan, I think Chesko, Quinn Pinto, and Will, and Trey, and we were like, I was like, let's make a video. So like, it was just the funniest thing ever. And at the end of the night, Ewan got to punch me in the face for some reason. And that
With a slice of pizza.
Yes. And then after that, like, we just started a trend where like, someone would get hit in the face every time we were with each other.
With a slice of pizza.
With a slice of pizza. It was, that's all I got.
Okay, Ewan, would you like to respond?
I think we've got one more.
One more?
We do. Okay. Then let's go.
Oh.
Buckle in.
So, Ewan was made aware that Ben and Logan and I had a meeting yesterday to sort of sit down and sort of workshop some ideas that we were going to come up with to share. But, you know, upon like really thinking back on our experiences with Ewan, we sort of came to the realization that we don't really have many good stories that are appropriate to share with because, and aside from that, you know, he's really just a pretty good dude who just doesn't get up to a lot of embarrassing stuff. So I guess good job on avoiding roasts.
Congratulations. That's it?
Yeah. Congratulations.
You got something?
I gotta straight Marion. Let's see if I can do this.
Hey, Ewan, can you rev a salad bowl?
It's okay.
So,
That's a long
story.
most
We're
people
not
don't know
explaining
we're
it.
actually live, so people are watching us from all over the place. And I'm taking stuff from the field. So, there you go.
Hi, this is Coach.
Well, I'll turn this up loud, you're on.
Do we have a roast for me?
You gotta tell us about the beavers.
We're still getting Chris.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay. So, sorry we're not here to join you in person, but this summer I got to work on the crew with Ewan on the high adventure trip down Gashwater Way, and it was a fabulous experience. We spent many hours paddling, as everyone knows, and one of our days while we were sailing down, I think it was Eagle Lake, we were playing 20 questions to kill the time. And while we were playing, we decided that we were playing 20 questions with the animals. And we started asking all these questions, and everybody was guessing all sorts of things. And nobody could think of anything else that we had seen that would have qualified for 20 the answers that he responded. And in the end, he's like, it's a beaver. And everybody just looks at him in shock and awe. Like, what are you talking about, a beaver? So in our crew of 12 of us, nobody else had seen a beaver the whole entire time, or a 10. And, but you had apparently had seen 2 and didn't share that.
Apparently just one beaver.
Just one.
So, we saw like 4 moose though, so I don't know why they're all salty about the beaver. Yeah. I don't know. Thank you guys. Thank you.
I think we're good. I think you can go. Okay.
Okay. Feels good. This is great. I like this. It's well blue. Matches. Everything matches now. You can see. You got blue and white and red, blue, white. It's beautiful. This is the most aesthetic uniform I've ever had. especially because I had ink stains on the last one for probably the past year. So I got a few thank yous I got to do because I actually care about these people, and I do want to thank them genuinely. They have been amazing during my scouting career. It's been quite a lovely time with everybody that I'm about to mention. So we'll go in order. Mr. White, how did you put up with me? Shrug, that works too. So my best experiences with Mr. White, or at least my most memorable, are when Mr. White asks me questions. And usually he's trying to get an answer out of me somehow, and everybody else from the troop will understand this, but Mr. White never asks a yes or no question. It's always a hypothetical. What do you think you should do? I don't know, this is my first time doing an Eagle project. Well, I don't know, how many rubber mats do you think I should order? Who knows, what's your math? So, that I should have known, but I don't know why I still asked him. Whatever. But Mr. White, throughout my entire scouting career, has been an amazing leader. You've been the scoutmaster the entire time. I'm surprised you put up with my SPL term as well. But you have been an absolutely great scoutmaster, and I hope that you stay now that you're retired. Now you don't have an excuse, so stay here. With that, I would like to say that Mr. White has been one of my mentors throughout my entire scouting career, helping me through every piece of the process, from scout all the way to Eagle. So I'd like to award him with a mentor pin today. Second very important person that I would like to thank is Mrs. Marianne Daly. She has been very patient. So some of the first merit badges that I started turned out to be the hardest ones. So I started citizenship in the community in 2020, finished it 3 years later, and throughout the entire time, Mrs. Daly, hey, what's happening with citizenship in the community? So she helped me out very much. I mean, that was the first big badge, citizenship in the nation as well. Working through things, she very much was a guiding presence in my time in the troop. As far as mentors go, guess what? Number 2. So, Mrs. Daly has also taught me about being prepared. For example, when finishing the first aid merit badge, which was my last Eagle badge that I finished, funny enough, I learned that you actually have to have first aid supplies to do first aid practice. So I came up with the imaginary splint, which works perfectly in my head, but didn't in hers. So
No, it doesn't.
So the third person that would be receiving a mentor pin today would be my coach, Brian Reef, who could not be here tonight as he is celebrating Christmas out of town. And just to say a few words about Coach Reef, I only had him for 2 years, but he had been hyped up for 4 before that. Throughout my entire middle school career, swimming at Wisconsin, and then moving on to the high school, I had been probably the most excited for the sport that I had been in a while. I was decently burnt out by the end of 8th grade, and I didn't really want to continue. But within 15 minutes of that first practice with Coach Reef, I fell in love with the sport again and was ready to do 4 more seasons. So Nick and Jeff can testify to it, and Mr. Janowski can testify to seeing it, but he is also very much a mentor, and I would just like to recognize him, although he is not here today. So another person that I would like to thank is Mr. Janowski. You were Cub Master, right? I'm not forgetting the position. It's been like a decade, so.
Actually, committee
Now, okay. So, so Mr. Janowski was very influential in my Cub Scouting career as well. So the 5 years that I had been in Cub Scouts, Tigers, all the way through what was Weeblos 2 at the time, now Arrow of Light, he was not exactly personally involved, because that's just not how the Cub Scout program kind of goes, but in the background, making sure everything happens, doing a really solid job. So I'd just like to thank you for being able to run that program so smoothly, to be able to bring me into Scouts with the fervor where I challenged Will to see who could get to Eagle faster, and I won. So, all right, other troop adults. So, Mr. LaCroix we got. Do we have Mr. Mosteller here? No, not Mr. Mosteller. Mr. Van Rokel. Who else do we have? I'm looking at faces. Mr. Winkley, absolutely. Basically, every member of our troop committee, thank you guys for being as solid as possible to keep the troop running while I was figuring out how to be an SPL. I very much thank you guys for offering up your time and being able to, volunteer essentially here on campouts, at meetings, everything. I don't believe anybody from Parks and Rec is here either. So I would just like to thank specifically Miss Laura Murphy, who is the Park and Rec director now, and Mr. Chris Rabus, who is the head of grounds and maintenance. They were influential in helping to, approve my project, guide me through, figure out where do we want to actually put this Gaga pit. So I was working around septic fields, and that's not fun. So I just want to thank them. Obviously, they're not here, but again, very influential in the process of the project. Ooh, now the big one. Mom and Dad. Hi. How are we? Put up with me for 5 years in this. Did it at least pay off? I would hope so. But, well, they've been here for 17 years, so kind of beating the rest of y'all, but that's all right. So, about my mom. All right, she is quite possibly the most organized person I know, more than Ben, for those that know Ben. And she very much has a way of just making things happen, especially this Court of Honor as well, being a great aid to that. And throughout my scouting career, helping out with school, helping out with swim majorly, it's all been greatly appreciated, so thank you very much, Mom. And Dad. I know you said that you wanted to stop being a scout leader after Cub Scouts, and then I roped you back in really quickly. So, thank you very much for, again, being here through the entire process. Cub Scouts, being a den leader, and eventually Cub Master, and now being involved as an assistant Scoutmaster in the troop. I can't thank you enough. If I said thank you every single morning, every single night for like the rest of my life, I'd still be probably 100,000 short. So, in the best way possible, thank you for putting up with my nonsense like Mr. White did. Many times I will forget to do something. For example, unload the dishwasher after I've been told 4 times. And always at, whenever there needs to be a task done, my dad is just extremely patient with me and very, very understanding. And he's been very, very involved. So I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you very much, Dad. So, can I have, we'll do that in a sec, actually. So, for everybody that is not Eagle yet, I have a little bit of advice. Please keep going. Don't stop. I'm being serious. If you're first class, if you're star, if your life does not matter, please keep going, get to Eagle. I haven't seen the effects of it yet, but I know how rewarding it now feels to be now in the same club as Ben, Chris, Logan, and Matt, who have been my friends forever at this point, and who have been Eagles forever, just waiting for me to get here. So please keep pushing, please keep working hard. It's very, very achievable. Don't rush your process, enjoy it, but make it happen. That's really all I can say for you guys. But for the Life Scouts, can we please stand up? Okay, perfect. So, can I please have all the Life Scouts come up to the front of the room real quick?
Are you the new Mr. Winkley? He's like the cookie monster.
All right, so here in Troop 5, we have a little tradition. All right. So, how many of you guys have started your project? I would hope many of you. Yes? Okay, good. So you guys are actually better than most of the Life Scouts we have. So, so we like to say to all the Life Scouts, get around to it. So this is around to it. It says to it in this round. So, Will, I know you actually are about to submit your papers, but get them done. Nathaniel, are you going to beat him? Get around to it. Gabe, how's your project going? Finished. Get around to it. Jordan, how are you? How's your project? Get around to it. Penny, how's your project?
Started yesterday.
Get around to finishing it. Julia, how's your project?
I'm working on the paperwork to submit the proposal.
Perfect, get around to it. Robert, how's your project? How's your paperwork? So not submitted. Get around to it. Luke, I know you finished your project. How's your paperwork?
It's working.
So what does that mean?
It's not submitted.
It's not submitted? Get around to it. In all seriousness though, literally everybody here has been an amazing experience throughout my scouting career. These are all amazing people. Julia being the SPL of our most recent summer course. Jordan being TG, Penny being a TG, Gabe being a TG as well for NYLT. Robert's been here forever. Will's been here forever. Luke came up from New Jersey. I was born there, I can say it. So, and Nathaniel, he's the young one, but he's going to beat Ben, hopefully. Oh well. Either way, everyone up here absolutely deserves to be an Eagle Scout. I want to see you guys get there. Keep working. I respect you all. You guys are all amazing. And that goes out to everybody else here that is working on their Eagle process. Peter! What's up? I would give you one, but the laws don't allow me to. So get around to it verbally.
Don't give me that look. Get around to it.
So, I will say, since all of these people are well on their way to getting their Eagle, can I get a round of applause for them? So I think, since I cannot thank my parents enough, I would like to thank them again. So, parent pins, they go on the parents, it's pretty self-explanatory. So, I've already done my little spiel for them. Once again, absolutely amazing people. And I cannot thank them enough.
Also, thanks for coming. It's great to see you.
Yeah, that's my role.
I'm done talking.
Nice phone, Ewan.
Oh.
No, you don't get it back yet. So thank you all for attending Ewan's Court of Honor. Again, Ewan is the 80th Eagle Scout from Troop 5, so pretty significant number. Remember that number. Whole numbers are cool. We will proceed to the hall downstairs following a reception by Jeff LeJava. Benediction. Sorry.
The Scout is trustworthy. Please give us guidance and insight to love and to trust one another and help us be good Scouts and always worthy to do a good turn day. A Scout is loyal. May we keep in mind our families, whose time we have often sacrificed to help make a difference in our communities. Please support them in our absence. A Scout is helpful. Give us the strength to be helpful, not only to those that we can easily help, but also let us learn to reach out to others that are often forgotten or neglected. A Scout is friendly. Let us be thankful for the friends we have, and let us be wise enough to know when to lean on our friends when we need help. A Scout is courteous. Please give us the patience and tolerance to work with others and to respect their points of view. A Scout is kind. Let us strive each day to treat each other kindly, treat others as we would like to be treated. A Scout is obedient. Please let us never forget the important lessons that to be a great leader, one must also be a great follower. A Scout is cheerful. Let us be cheerful for what you have given us. Let us appreciate each new day as a new opportunity to make a positive difference. A Scout is thrifty. Help us to learn to save so we can share what we have with others. Let us always be mindful of our environment and treat our earth in the correct manner. A Scout is brave. Please give us the courage to speak up for what is just and proper, and the tenacity to make the world a better place in the midst of trials and tribulations. A Scout is clean. Let us keep our minds and bodies physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. And a Scout is reverent. For we in Scouting believe that through the programs and volunteers in the Boy Scouts of America, we are doing your ministry. May the great Scoutmaster in the sky watch over us, protect us until we meet again. And thank you, and have a safe trip home.
Cool. Yeah, let's see.
Proceed downstairs.
Proceed downstairs.
Yep, please proceed to Fellowship Hall.